Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about women want masculine men, but what does that mean? Okay, so if you are unsure about masculinity and how you can develop yourself so you can portray more masculine behaviors so you can be more attractive to women, then this video is for you. And of course, it's also for those guys out there that maybe want to refresh their knowledge on masculinity, the topic of masculinity and masculine energy. Okay, because in every individual we both have feminine and masculinity. There are certain traits, okay, and obviously in a man he has more masculine traits and fewer feminine traits, and in the typical woman what you'll find is that she'll have more feminine traits and only a few masculine traits. So for example, for a woman, most of the time her main priorities, because if she's a feminine woman, will be connection, bonding. She'll probably have a job that is very like people orientated. That's why you see a lot of women who are nursery nurses, teachers, especially for younger children. Nurses, that sort of thing. Like, it's a very, or secretaries. I know these are very stereotypical, but these are very stereotypical roles that women find themselves in. And it's because it's very people orientated. And then, but she may also, if she's got a bit of masculinity inside of her, which we all do, maybe her masculine side is that she's got a little side hustle going on, right? So, but that's not her main priority. Her main priority perhaps is her family and her friends. Then it may be her people-orientated job, and then it'll be her goals. Okay. But for a man, which goes into my first point, is that usually a man's goals are, if he's in his masculine, the most important priority in his life. He'll put his goals above his family, above his woman, above even himself sometimes, which is why sometimes, unfortunately, you see a lot of men who sort of run themselves into the ground, basically, because they're so busy trying to hustle, if they've got like a side business, or they just sort of become really unbalanced. When it comes to, let's say, if they're an athlete, they'll spend so much time focusing on their athleticism, and so everything else takes secondary, which you see with women as well, who become like Olympians. But with men, that can even happen with just men who are not even like professional athletes, that if their main priority is to do with some sort of athleticism, then they'll be really focused on that. So, and it may be that you've got, like a side business or something. But anyway, what you've got to realize is that if you want to be more in tune with your masculinity, then what you need to do is you need to put your goals above love and romance, above that woman that you may have a crush on or that ex that you've got. You've got to put your goals as your highest priority, especially your main goal, the one that is most inspiring to you. So perhaps you want to be a writer, or perhaps you want to be an athlete, or perhaps you want a side business and you want to make that your main focus rather than the job that you've got. Or perhaps you've got a job that you really love and care about and you're trying to get promotion within that job, or you're just really focused on making that job the best it can be, and that's just your main focus. So that's one of the best ways that you can get into your masculinity, by putting your goals above everything else, which may seem really uncaring, but especially if you've got family members and you've got a girlfriend or you've got a girl that you do like. But women are more attracted to men who put their goal and mission above women, and the reason why, I think it has to do with safety, like especially if it's something like a side business, and just a goal to make more money or something like that, because it makes her see that, oh, you're going to make it one day, in a way, and that's probably one of the reasons that she's going to fall in love with you anyway. It may not necessarily be because your whatever you're doing, your main goal makes money, but it's to do with the fact that it's part of who you are. It's part of your personality. So when you start dating a woman, if you've got like a big goal or dream, even if it's something as simple as learning a new language, or you're trying to learn a new skill like playing guitar, if that's part of who you are, and then all of a sudden when you get in a relationship you stop doing that, then that's going to make her feel unsure about you. Okay, and it's going to be very feminine of you to quit your dream so you can focus on your relationship, because you see a lot of women who do that kind of thing. They're very successful. Someone who comes to mind is like an artist, right? Sometimes you see a woman who's like really a successful artist. I think this happened with Avril Lavigne, and then the woman suddenly gets a kid, and then they stop. You don't hear any music from them for a long time, because they've now just dropped that priority of making music, and they're solely focused on the kid. And a lot of women do that. They quit their jobs when they have kids, or they don't go back for a very long time, or they go back part time. But usually with guys, obviously it has to do with like paternity leave not being as great as maternity leave in some places. But a lot of men don't do that. They carry on with their lives, especially if it's a goal that is really important to them. So for example, a male musician, you may not quit making music, because that's just part of who he is, and it is his highest priority. Now, it doesn't mean that your priorities when you've got kids should, you never put your kids, as a priority. Your kids should still be a priority. It's just that your music and your career is what you do, and you don't stop doing that just because you've got a kid. And it's all about finding, even when you do have kids, because obviously kids take up a lot of time. Even if you do have kids, you still find time when you're helping out with the baby to do your goal, to carry on with your mission, to carry on with your purpose in life, right? So you put it as your highest priority. Whatever you do, you don't stop. You find a way to continue with that, okay? So enough of that. Let's get into the next point, which is you don't let other people control the mood. So you are unaffected by the behaviors of other people. So if you wake up and you're in a good mood and you're happy, nothing's going to sway you from having a fun, enjoyable day, right? If people are rude to you, if your girlfriend's rude to you, whatever it may be, if your kids are rude to you, you're still going to be having a fun time. You're still going to enjoy your day. And obviously this is a lot easier said than done, and you have to be really in your masculine to be able to make this work. But if you are the leader of a house, right, and you're the man in the house, it should be you who sets the tone of the environment with your family. So if everyone's in a bad mood, you're going to find a way to uplift everyone and take them out and do something fun. Now, it doesn't mean you have to spend money, but, you're just going to, like, go and take them out and do something. Like, come on, guys, we need a bit of fresh air, because, you're all just grumpy because you're inside all the time. And then you just go out and have a great time, and you take them out maybe to the park or something. You're just going to have, like, a little nice family day. And it's because all because that you're in a good mood, and you want the good mood to continue, and you want to, because you're the leader, you want to be able to, and because you're the more masculine one, because you're the leader and because you're the man, you're going to spread that joy to everybody else, right? Because you're the leader, right? And the one who is the leader is the one that goes first, right? And they set the tone for their little group, whether that little group is your family, it could be your group of buddies, right? You want to have a fun, enjoyable experience. And if you let other people influence your mood, yeah, that means they're leading you. They're the leader. They're the one that's changed your mood. Okay? And if you're the head of a family, then that means you're in charge of the mood. You're in charge of the fun, right? And if things are not fun, it's because, and you don't feel like you're having a good time, it's because you've let someone else control your mood in that time, okay? So it's all about that. Now, obviously, that is a lot easier said than done. You really need to be in your masculine to do that. But it's something to try and think about and practice. So if you're single right now, which you probably are if you're watching a video about attraction, then just experiment with your friends. Like, start to try and become like the leader of the group. And that will help you get into your masculinity, and see if you can control the mood. So if they're all like grumpy and miserable, try and find a way to like get them to relax and have fun, and try and think of some fun things to do for you guys, so you get in a better mood, so they match the mood that you're in, right? So if you're in a good mood, great, let's try and get everyone else in a good mood too. So it's one of those things. It's all about being the leader, okay? Masculinity, that's one of the that's a masculine trait, a leader. Okay, so another thing as well is that you're confident and you make other people feel at ease. So because you're confident and because you're quite stoic, because you're quite calm, you're able to, again, it's about influencing the energy of other people. Okay, so let's say you're talking to a woman who's quite anxious for whatever reason. You're able to make her feel more relaxed and at ease. And it's not just with women too. You can do this with everybody, right? You can do this with your friends, your family members. If they're worried about something, you're there to talk to them. And the way that you talk to them helps them feel at ease. Now, I remember this with me once. I remember I just, a very sad thing, I just had a miscarriage. And these two paramedics came, and they were two men, and they came in and they said, well, you know, because I thought I was going to bleed out, basically, which in the end I didn't, but I was just in so much pain from having a miscarriage, that, because I had miscarried at home, that I was just in so much pain that I thought that I needed to go to hospital because it just hurt so much. Because a lot of people say, we're like this bit of a, I don't know if you'll be interested in hearing this as a man, because obviously most of the people watching this video will be men, but a lot of the time when people talk about miscarriages, as they say, oh, it's just like a heavy period. No, it's not. It feels like full on labour, and my child hadn't even reached like a really big stage yet. They stopped developing at around 6 weeks. So very, very sad. Luckily, I do have a baby now, my rainbow baby. Which means a baby that you have after loss, if you're not unaware. But anyway, these two male paramedics came in. They said, "Oh, you know, sorry, you know, you got two guys here, and you're having sort of like a problem. You don't have another woman here, basically." But anyway, there was this one of these paramedics was very, very calming, and he had that attitude. He had that vibe of someone who could instill calmness in other people, and luckily, I was feeling a lot better, and they didn't have to take me to the hospital. But one of these paramedics was just so calm and just made me feel really reassured. He made my wife feel very reassured, and we was like when he was like discharging me, because it takes a bit of paperwork if you're not going to take someone to the hospital, apparently. So he was like filling out these forms, and he was just sort of like laughing and joking with us, and we was talking about movies and stuff, and he just instilled that calmness in me, which I think has probably a lot to do with his training, but it may also just be the kind of guy that he is as well, because I think with paramedics they have to have like some kind of like good bedside manner, because it's quite a people orientated role, but he was just so good at that, and it kind of influenced me and thought, oh yeah, this is like one of those things that I can see a lot of men doing. I've met men like him before who are just very, very calm, and he looked like really jacked. You could tell that this guy was like super like manly, and very, very masculine. So it's just like one of those examples, you know, if you're confident and you can make other people feel at ease, it's going to make you insanely attractive to women, because women love to feel that when they're around a guy. It makes them feel safe, you see. Okay. So another thing that can really help with your masculinity is if you have uplifting and inspiring male friends or male influences. So you want to get some good friends around you, and if you don't have any good friends around you who are good like masculine influences, then go online. You know, go and read some books by your role models, listen to podcasts, interviews and stuff. Just fill your head with like all these masculine role models, and that will really help as well if you don't have any friends that inspire you that much. Because basically what you want to do is you want to find friends who are a little bit better than what you are, or have influences that are a little bit better than you are, so they can pull you up to their level. And you always want to be finding and refining and searching. It doesn't mean that you drop any friends. It just means that you are always looking for a new friend who can help inspire you and make you become better as a man. And that's my thoughts on it. That's my thoughts on what women want masculine men, but what does that mean? And if you would like to get coaching with me, if you would like help with a specific situation about a relationship or about a woman, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. and pick whichever coaching option works best for you at this current time. And I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.